Druhfalgor allowed himself to sigh quietly. From the dank crevice in which he had secreted himself, he could see nothing more than a slice of dim light near the opening from which he had entered Skull Cave. As soaked as his clothing was by the sudden rains, the condensation puddle he was sitting in almost felt dry. Among the earthy smells of the cavern was the subtle presence of wood burning, which the lad found pleasant, but it also concerned him. The Ick Man, somewhere in the tunnels below, no doubt, was roasting his kill upon a spit. The boy could not help from imagining his own body glistening over the flames as a hideous creature turned him slowly, heating his pudgy frame on all sides. Only the pain in his sword arm brought him back from that disappointing vision. The lad massaged his forearm looking for a wound, but found nothing. He wondered what Narwimble was doing that could take so long. He feared the worst, that Warlyrk had taken the old man, or worse than the worst, the unthinkable. Yet he was thinking it, that the enemy had struck the old man down and was now coming for Druhfalgor. There was only the sound of water dripping from stalactites and the sound of Druhfalgor breathing when he could remember to stop holding his breath. The quiet was unbearable, yet the lad bore it nonetheless. I am capable of more than I knew, he thought to himself. If I follow my training and rely on instinct, I may survive a bit longer. On the wind, the lad then caught a whiff of something foul. He heard no movement, and yet he knew someone or something was nearby. When the whispery voice broke the silence, he was surprised to hear the tongue of his own people. The voice of the Ick Man startled him more for its ordinariness than for its abruptness. The creature was calm when it spoke. What are you doing here, boy? Druhfalgor was afraid to respond, but saw no other choice. I am hiding, and I mean you no harm. The Ick Man laughed. You do not look able to harm a flea, of which I have much experience. The thought gave the boy the itchy feeling of bugs crawling all over his skin. It also itched at his ego as the creature's comment rang true. Still, it angered him. The boy attempted to scold the creature. Looks like we're both hiding here, strange one. Perhaps you are infested with fleas, lice, and the gods know what else, because you are as weak as I. They have learned you well in words, little lord. Druhfalgor was amazed the creature could know anything of his training. The terrifying notion occurred to the boy that perhaps the Ick Man had tunnels that ran under or even within the castle. Was this strange beast watching them, perhaps moving among them in the night? You assume many things, but are you not the fiend Ick Man? Your stench gives you away, said the boy. It is as you say, child. I am the creature that dwells here within Skull Cave. But it is not I who stink. I know a lord when I smell them. You have been bathed within a fortnight. The sweat and earth stripped from your flesh with lye, replaced with an oil made of lilac. Druhfalgor could not be but amazed by the creature's nose. To smell such things within these dark tunnels, the lad himself was overwhelmed with the bouquet of the freshly dug grave. "It is not safe for a young lord to be about," said the Ick Man. "Did you not hear the witchmage Warlyrk himself laughing on the wind?" "Indeed," said Druhfalgor, conceding the point. "I am fleeing from that very enemy even now. Warlyrk used his strange powers to teleport the sword from my hand as I wielded it, and my companion bid me hide here, despite the risk. The effects of his magic are very cruel. My sword arm aches from it." "Such is his mark," replied the creature. Just then the Ick Man sniffed the air. "What does an entity as foul as Warlyrk want with the child's blade? It makes little sense." "Makes little sense?" Druhfalgor found himself betraying himself by yelling. He should not let this thing know the gravity of the situation. "Perhaps the blade has some significance after all," said the Ick Man. "It is curious to meet you this way." "Whatever could you mean?" asked the boy. "There is no need to say it aloud. We both know who you are now." "I already knew who I am," said the boy with some exasperation. "Do you? I think you might learn that yet." Druhfalgor found that he was quite relaxed speaking with this creature. "I will admit, for the Ick Man, you are not very dreadful." The creature laughed from his hiding place in the darkness. "Tell me of your sword, lad." "But surely you know Pyllandar," said the boy with excitement and disbelief. "The sword is legend itself. It is the blade my ancestor long ago stole from the winged serpent god Pithka. It is the sword used to lead an army of 5,000 over the ice to behead the ice chieftain. It was hidden inside of a block of cheese during the Salt Wars. My uncle Zulan IV used it to defeat the shrunken hags of Mallowmarsh. When my poor uncle was slain during a duel with sick Lord Ixtho, my father took the sword for himself and pierced Ixtho in the eyes, draining the poison which bound the sick lord to the demon Slag. My father, Pogthier, sealed his coronation as his custom by blessing Pyllandar with a kiss, kneeling in the shallows of Lake Allowmere. With this, Druhfalgor used his thumb to swipe tears from the corners of his eyes. "Ick Man, I do not like calling you that. I was orphaned 2 springs ago when Lord Pogthier was felled by a fever. I may be but 12 years, and I may be unable, as you said, to hurt a flea, but Pyllandar is my burden, as is the kingdom. I would confess to being ashamed hiding in this cave." "You may call me Ick Man, child. It is a suitable name as any other. I too am ashamed to dwell under Skull Cave. That is my burden." The creature seemed to be pained as well when it spoke. "Do not cry." "Why do you not join me? Surely you are a good beast, misunderstood. We could use your help to defeat Warlyrk. I must retrieve Pyllandar." Druhfalgor was surprised to find the Ick Man close enough to place a slimy, strange hand upon the child's shoulder. "I am bound to these caverns. I cannot go with you. But Return to me when you are the victor. I would speak with you again. Narwimble comes now. And sure enough, the boy heard the shuffling of his aged friend, moving swiftly in his robes. The diminutive old man closed out the light altogether as he entered the crack in the earth, but thereafter a candle began to burn in the man's hand. The light was blinding at first, and when Druhfalgor's eyes adjusted, he saw no sign of the Ick Man, who had departed as silently as he arrived. "Narwimble!" cried the boy. "It is I," said the old man.